Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another unboxing and review, and today we are taking a look at the Hyperspeed series from Mattel. Now, this features the XL-01 and Buzz Lightyear. This is from the upcoming Disney Pixar animated feature, Lightyear. And if you've seen the trailers, it looks really fun. It seems to chronicle the adventures of Buzz Lightyear, and there's a great set of toys that are out for this movie. So I purchased this vehicle maybe about, I want to say 3 weeks ago at my local Walmart. I believe it retailed for around $11. I was immediately drawn to it. There's something about this style of toy that kind of takes me back. It reminds me of the old Battlestar Galactica vehicles from the early 80s, and then also the old Star Wars Micro Machine vehicles, which I think they're part of, what was it called again? Action Fleet. So when I saw this, I'm like, this looks awesome. You know, even though Lightyear looks to be like a, it's a CG cartoon, the vehicle designs are really well done. Like, if you just saw this toy by itself, you wouldn't think that it was for a Disney Pixar film. This looks like something that could like easily come out of like a video game, like like Mass Effect, or like a television show you might see like on Sci-Fi, like The Expanse or like Star Trek or something. All right, so let's get started. This is the XL-01 featuring Buzz Lightyear. The package design, to be honest, it looks a little generic. It almost looks like an educational toy because there's not a whole lot of like wow factor involved. The graphics are very dull and muted. With the exception of Buzz Lightyear here in the corner, there's not a whole lot that gives away that this is for a Disney film, and there's the logo. But it's still well done. I like how the vehicle is kind of like portrayed flying around in space, and there's some sort of like anomaly in the background. You get Buzz Lightyear here. He's like a minifigure. And it shows the play feature. The pilot could go inside the canopy or the cockpit. On the back, the landing gears retract, which is pretty neat. And then here's some of the other vehicles that are available. So far I've seen all of these in the stores, but I only opted for the two on the left right now. Depending on how I feel about them, I might go back later and get the rest of them. But for now, I just wanted a small sampling of the vehicles. Alright, so there's not a whole lot going on here. There's no instructions outside of what's on the box. The XL-01, it's a pretty light toy, and to be honest, I'm very impressed with this so far. This feels like a real throwback to some of the toys that we got in the 80s, and I'm liking this a lot. And here's the small Buzz Lightyear pilot. It's really tiny, so just beware. This looks like something you can easily lose. It stands in at about 1¼ inches. So the pilot's pretty small. You don't want to lose Buzz. And let's take a look at the detail for him. It's a really small, little tiny guy. Let's see if my camera can focus on it. Focus. No, it doesn't want to focus on him for some reason. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so as you can see, really small, tiny figure. He's only 1¼ inch. And there's not much that gives this away as being Buzz Lightyear. This could be a very generic, like, astronaut. I believe the legs are articulated. Let's take a look at that. Are they articulated? I don't know. Everything's so small on here. It feels like it could break. Right, so this little guy, his arms are articulated. And then his legs can move also. You know what I really like about this action figure is that if you're a Transformer fan, especially if you grew up during the 80s, You'll remember like the old Diaclone toys. Those came with those little tiny pilots that could like fit inside of the Transformers. You know, like how Optimus Prime, you can open up the cab, or Starscream, you can open up the cockpit. There were actually smaller action figures that were made to fit inside of those vehicles. And Diaclone had them, and they even had like little tiny magnet feet. And these figures, this feels like it feels very much like the old Diaclone minifigures, you know, minus the magnetic feet. And for that reason alone, it makes me tempted just to buy more of these. It's pretty cool. I like this a lot. And like I said, it's very small, so just, you know, don't lose this. And then as for the vehicle itself, the XL-01, I believe it's called. As you can see, it's a really cool design. The detailing on here is top notch. I mean, just look at all the pipes and panels. You know, for an $11 toy, this thing is pretty neat. And it really does take me back to like the old like Battlestar Galactica vehicles that we got in the early 80s, and also the Star Wars Micro Machine Action Fleet vehicles. You know, this is very much in line with those. Alright, so here's a front view. Looks great. Here's a profile. Let's get this focus. For some reason my camera doesn't want to focus on this guy. Yeah, there's something about my camera for some reason. My camera's been acting up lately. It's been having difficulty. There we go. So here's a nice shot of it in focus. It looks really well done. Let's get a little bit closer so we can see some of the detail on the fin up there. And then oh, so what's curious is that I don't think it came with one. Let me take a look at the box real quick. Alright, so something that strikes me as being odd is that it seems like this toy was originally designed to come with a display stand, because there's a socket right here, and it's a ball socket. So I'm assuming that at one point in time, maybe they were planning to include a display stand with this vehicle, which I think would have made this even better. So yeah, that's odd. I wish they did that. Because I have some Star Trek toys, and they have a very similar socket here. You know, this receives a ball socket, you know, with this design. And since we're underneath, let's take a look at the retractable landing gears. Yeah, that's really cool. And it sits down pretty well. And then here's size comparison with the pilot and cockpit of the ship. There's actually a rubber band I forgot to remove. There you go. Okay, so I think you just simply, if you want to put the pilot in, stick your thumbnail underneath cockpit, lift it up. So take your fingernail, lift up the canopy, and then it grants you access to the cockpit. As you can see, there's some detailing inside. There's the chair, and let's get the pilot inside. Let's position his legs and his arms. And let's see, get in focus. And then simply close it. Or it seems like I can't get it to close correctly. I think I have to tuck his arms underneath the control console. There we go. And we have a really, really sweet vehicle here. Get into focus, please. There you go. Yeah, this is really well done. The details are nice. There's not a whole lot in terms of like articulation outside of the gears. Like for a second I thought maybe the wings would fold, but they don't. It's unfortunate that there is no display stand, because I think this would be a great display piece, especially if you had like the other vehicles. You know, you could kind of like maybe arrange it as a display, like a small little armada or fleet or squadron. Yeah, really awesome. All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how would I rate this? I don't know. For me, an easy 10. I love stuff like this, and it's like I said, you know, if this wasn't for the upcoming Buzz Lightyear movie, you know, it could easily pass for like a vehicle from like a video game or like another movie or like a television show or something. It's really well done. It's very simple. It's nothing. There's nothing complex about it. You know, if anything, I'd just be worried about losing the little pilot, especially like if you're a little one handling this toy. And it's a great collectible. I think this is awesome. You know, if you're an adult and you're into science fiction, this is a great looking ship. I really wish Hasbro would make Star Wars vehicles like this, you know, getting a small little minifigure. I mean, they did way back in the day in the 80s, but, you know, not so much recently. I might be mistaken there, but there's nothing that comes to mind immediately. Alright, so let's wrap this video up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for your continued support. So, until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.